not really totally sure, because usually Ori's kind of scared of characters that they can't super easily win neutral against, but also like kill them fast. It's like even if their neutral is better than their opponent, if they can kill fast and still do fine in neutral, then that can get pretty dicey for Ori. Characters like Zetter are like a big example of that, or Rano.
Yep.
Not Rano, Raster. That was the one. So we'll see what we have here. I do like this as the starter. I think this is really great for both characters. We see pretty solid movement from Zoe in the last set, and this is a really good stage for making sure your movement is as strong as it can be.
Yeah, Zoe looking really good at the beginning, but now it's Pomme's turn to actually get some stuff going. Seeing actually the music sport coming out. Some more floatiness done by Pomme. The last hits actually maybe held down a little bit just to not get hit by the multi-hit of the down strong.
Ooh,
Oh, bash.
Yeah, and that's kind of the tricky thing. Ori has a lot of situations where if you DIN, you're getting bashed. But with Pomme, you know, kind of light. Not necessarily, not as light as Ori, but still light enough that drifting out on a move like up air, you have to be somewhat precise with it. If you drift out for too long, you can definitely just die outright.
Bodyguard trying to come out that time, 94% and 65% of extra credit done by Ori. Zoe is looking really crisp. We did see domination right at the first set that we saw, and just going for that up air right on the outside. They knew they had that kill on sight, and now they're smelling blood in the water.
Yeah, and that was great from Zoe. That's just the thing you gotta do with Ori sometimes, is go super deep with your aerials. Because it's their airspeed that really enables a lot of their early kills, not so much their actual raw kill power.
Yeah, a lot of times we are seeing Ori can be a little bit of a beginner killer when it comes to speed alone, especially when you have a grasp of what you want to do with the character. Just constant walling with back airs and fairs and up airs. Doing such a good job to actually make Pomme just look for anything that get on stage. Nevertheless, look at down strong actually taking away that stock and see if some momentum can shift here.
Yeah.
So up air actually 154% that time. Sign is going to go ahead and explode, but this comes up pretty much quickly. Nevertheless, Zoe not losing the pressure, just maintaining the center stage that time. And now a little bit of combination done by Pomme for 24%. 106, 79% now.
Yeah.
Good defense by Pomme, but not enough, as we see Zoe taking a game.
Not a bad game from Nate at all, but and Zoe definitely feels like when people aren't able to really contest her neutral, things just snowball so hard in her favor. Which, granted, is how Ori gets a lot of the time. You know, with them being such a fast character, their neutral is just insanely good, and that's really where you're gonna have to find your wins.
Our capital for game 2. Again, we're seeing a preference by Nate overall. They just want more space to think and play a little bit more methodical when it comes to their approaches, which is something that I understand. Considering I use Sylvanos, I actually like the speed and rather the space to actually think, because my old man hands don't let me press buttons as fast as Zoe is doing with Ori right now.
Some great use of Stein right there, kind of playing fast, trying to make Nate hit them when she comes to him. And yeah, his offstage interactions are brutal.
Oh my god, that was clean.
Wow, yeah.
That was so good. Actually countering with a fair and using the little musical note actually set up with a forward strong right at the end. The Ori did not expect that hit, but 71%. So far so good, as Zoe is definitely not nutting up.
Yeah. There.
Moving on a little bit more dash attack, and now gotta get those stiletto kicks in there. 46% now, 95. Moving a little more, and fair. Once again, done by Pomme. Down air is done by Ori. Up air is 119%. a little bit more survivability in the stage just because how big it is. But what can Pomme do to actually set the pace for this match as we see Ori actually using that charge stop up strong?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not super sure. And you know, the first thing I'm always going to think of is like, how can Vince be used to stop situations like that? Because I don't know if Vince beats Sign Pop, but on paper it probably does. Just kind of tricky. Did Vince come out right now, but just not in situations where he's really gonna stop a whole lot, and yeah, that's tough. I'm not really sure what else Nate could have done right there. I'm not sure if he was able to air dodge or something, but if he wasn't, then yeah, kinda got chased down in the blast zone by Ori. There's not much you can do about that.
You're probably using the float actually try to get on the stage as soon as possible. But not quite going to be enough right there. So game number 3 going to be played on Frozen Fortress.
Yeah.
Yeah, going to be a little bit of a, forgot the word for it. Nevertheless, a comfort pick by Pomme as we saw in the game before, and it didn't play bad. But again, Azzoe's pressure, man.
I'm thinking this is probably a comfort pick for Nate. Definitely interesting to pick 2 big stages here. These are, I think, usually considered pretty subpar stages for Ori, so I'm definitely not against the counter picks. It's kind of interesting to try such similar options.
I'm gonna try go again one more time. Recoveries done by Pomme, but again, back air walls have been the name of the game throughout the set. And Azzoe is definitely not letting Pomme breathe. What can Pomme do to actually try to switch the momentum here, Cyber? Because it really feels like Ori is just dictating the pace of the game throughout.
I think a string right there definitely would have been a big part of that play, or a big part of what's needed here. Otherwise, all I can really think of is finding ways, taking advantage of some of Pomme's longer range moves to stop Ori from actually getting in the first place. Because generally that's kind of what you have to do against Ori for most other characters, is smartly use your longer range moves. Just unpredictably enough to not get whiff punished. It's not easy though.
No, definitely not, especially not against a player of Azzoe's caliber as well, but we're seeing that stock actually getting taken away. That down strong done by Pomme. Nate trying to bring something back, but 117% of extra credit so far. Not a percentage loss until now after the dash attack. Again, another back air is trying to get him with a little bit of a snipe of the orb, and another up air, but it's good recognition on the DI by Nate.
Right now, I really want to see Nate actually using the note field to put himself back further off stage, because he's just kind of hugging the wall, and as Pomme, that's not actually ideal. There are some characters where, yeah, you do need to hug the wall pretty hard, but generally the air characters aren't like that, except for maybe Raster. A lot of Pommes will try to basically use no field to go back closer to the blast zone, and then, like, float to maneuver around the opponent while charging Vince. And we haven't really seen Nate do anything like that yet. He's just kind of coming right back on stage.
They're trying to respond back that time. Up air at 99%. Actually, looks like they're getting something going for this particular stock. It's pretty much a do or die for Pomme this time.
Yeah.
Not letting up. So 88% now, and now to 93. Similar situation than what we saw beforehand. Then maybe the no feel on the outside may give him even more time to stop and think.
Down strong, that is going to take the stock, but 120% is really just a massive deficit.
Now up to 137 after that up air, just floating out a little bit more, and Azzoe is recognizing the pattern that he's using to float, manages to recover on land, and Azzoe takes it 3-0.
Yep. Continuing the train of the 3-0s here. Relentless play from Zoe. So, she'll be moving on to fight the winner of our next set, which is going to be Jam and Azzoe.